In this video, we're going to talk to Daryl Benzel, a member of the engineering team at Hearsay, a Yext company, about their needs for an API gateway, how they discovered and ultimately chose Zuplo, how long it took to get the implementation in place, and what benefits they've realized from using the platform. Daryl, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to us about your implementation with Zuplo. I guess if you could start off by telling us about you and who you are.
My name is Daryl Benzel. I'm a lead engineering. I lead the engineering team responsible for the API infrastructure at Hearsay. We're now a Yext company, and we do focus on building scalable, reliable solutions for our platform.
Tell us a little bit about Yext, and actually maybe about Hearsay as well, because Hearsay was acquired by Yext. So you were at Hearsay first. Now it's a big part of Yext. As a whole, what does Hearsay, a Yext company, and Yext actually do at this point?
From the Hearsay perspective, Hearsay helps financial services and insurance industries engage with customers through compliant, personalized digital communications. So our platform enables advisors and agents to connect with clients across social, text, voice channels while meeting industry regulations.
Could you give us an example of like what that looks like make it real, how that fits into, a company, on the daily in financial services? How might they use this?
So if I work for, let's just take any insurance company, and I've got outreach with clients, prospects, and there are myriad things that I cannot say to my clients. I can't advise that they buy the next crypto or some stock. There are all kinds of SEC regulations. There are all kinds of major fines that are levied to these companies on a weekly, monthly basis. You hear about them in the news. Our platform really helps protect companies from those consequences.
And what were some of the challenges that you were facing when you decided to choose to use Zuplo? Because I think before you were working with like a homegrown API gateway. Was that right?
That's basically true. From the very beginning, and it had gone through its own evolution. But as our platform grew, we needed a way to manage and secure our APIs more effectively. We wanted to better control, better traffic control, authentication, observability, while minimizing the operational overhead.
And obviously now you're using Zuplo. What was it that made you choose Zuplo in this instance? What stood out about that platform?
Really is the ease of integration, the strong developer features and experience, and the ability to scale with our needs were some of the major factors. The ability to enforce different security policies, really at the granular level at times, and monitor traffic in real time also stood out to us.
You were going through a process, obviously, of choosing a gateway. It would be wonderful if everybody just chose Zuplo like straight away, but we're realists that doesn't always happen, and that there are other gateways that people evaluate. What others did you look at? Kind of as you were going through the process of deciding which gateway to adopt?
We definitely looked at several alternatives, including commercial and open source. We ultimately chose this solution for its balance of flexibility, ease of use, and performance. And frankly, the demos that Josh, your CEO, did for us made it look fun, quick, super engaging. Really effective demo.
So I mean, that was one of the things that obviously stood out, right? Was I think that developer experience and how fun it is to work with. I think that shouldn't be something that we step over here a little bit. Is that actually working with an API gateway isn't always fun, but when you're working with Zuplo, we try to make it the nicest experience that it can be for developers. Were there specific features or aspects that really stood out, like about those pieces that were very much different compared to other options?
Sure. The seamless integration with our existing infrastructure, fully managed and fast deployments. We love the fast deployments. It's so good. Actually, the fastest deployment of anything I'm aware of, even in terms of just other things that we do in, say, GitHub Actions or TeamCity. Ease of use, minimal configuration, performance and capabilities of Cloudflare. It's worth noting that we had kind of an intermediary step when we first implemented it, where we basically just put it in front of everything that we already had, so an extra hop, and we saw latency go down, which delighted us. Just not something that you would expect, but it made perfect sense when we looked at Cloudflare for that.
There was also something that I noted around auth There was a specific kind of middleware that was required in here. Can you tell us about that?
Without giving away any specifics, we just had quite a bit of homegrown middleware that we needed to port into to TypeScript, and it was just so easy to work with, easy to unit test, easy to reason about, and it's speaking in purely architectural principles, open close principle, where things are open for extension but closed for modification. With the Zuplo runtime variables that you get in the function calls, super handy.
What's the kind of request volume that you're managing to go through here? You don't have to give me a specific number if you don't want to, but sort of a range of like the kinds of requests that you're dealing with on a monthly basis would be great to know.
Sure. Yeah. We're currently processing about 50 to 60 million requests per month through Zuplo, and the gateway has handled this scale perfectly.
We love to hear that. If there was, like a top three things that Zuplo has made easier for you as a company, that maybe weren't so easy before, what would those things be?
Number one for us would be the fast deployments. It's seconds, not minutes. And kind of going along with that is the built-in GitHub integration. So very minimal effort to get your CI/CD pipelines adjusted for this. Just another little thought on that. That comes out of the box, but if you need to customize it in other granular ways, that's also incredibly easy. Two would be also, as I mentioned earlier, just the fact that the infrastructure is deployed to Cloudflare. All the advantages that you get, the DDoS protection, the efficient network routing, we just love that. And three would be the management portal features. It's those features have, I think that was one of the newest or least mature parts of the system when we first adopted Zuplo, and it's improved so much in the time that we've been using it. And it's frankly just like the little route editor, the Zup editor CLI server. That's a pleasure to use, and just the same as the public dev portal is.
So obviously, Zuplo is backed by Cloudflare, which is, providing, edge locations in, significant number of geographies. I think 300 edge locations all around the world. For you, is that a consideration? What kind of geographies are you operating in?
So we primarily serve customers in North America and Europe. And this solution has helped us maintain consistency across those geographies.
And I guess additionally, then this is also a part of the deployment time as well. Is the fast deployments are fast anyway, but they're also fast to all of those edge locations in that amount of time as well, right?
Fast everywhere, 100%.
Moving from one solution to another always takes time, especially if there's something already in place. How long did it take for you and the team to actually complete the migration from what you were using previously over to the Zuplo implementation that you had as you went to production with it?
So you'll be pleased with this. We obviously we can't afford any downtime with our public APIs, and so as a result, we spent a considerable amount of time planning a safe rollout. But the actual development and onboarding took 2 to 3 weeks
from start to finish.
Start to finish.
Yeah, we do love to hear that. Now you've been up and running, and you've been up and running with Zuplo for a while now. So I think, at this stage, you're probably in a place where, you can say with some level of confidence, how Zuplo is able to position you and the company, for your future growth. Would you say that, it's definitely assisting with that?
Yeah, the Zuplo route configuration changes and their deployments are the easiest and quickest parts of any project for us. This gives us the flexibility to scale efficiently. It ensures security and compliance and reduces operational complexity so we can focus on building new capabilities.
Would you recommend Zuplo to other people if you were sitting having a conversation with other engineers and they were talking about, moving towards using an API gateway or moving from one API gateway to another? Is Zuplo one that you'd be bringing up and telling them to go and check out? And what are some of the key reasons you would suggest to them as to why they should check it out?
I would absolutely recommend it. And I would say it's clearly contingent on volume and scale. I think if you're if you're a small time player and you're trying to keep your expenses absolutely minimal, obviously there's always alternative solutions that you can look into, but it's not going to be this easy or this fun. And it's it really is. I think every engineer and every engineering team is used to having to rewrite legacy software, right? It's a truth of reality that we're never really going to get away from. So in order to do this at scale and for it to be this much fun and for such little pain, there's just we didn't find a better option, and yeah, we don't regret going with this solution.
Fantastic. Well, look, Daryl, thank you so much for coming to talk to us about how you've done the implementation with Zuplo and what it's afforded Yext and Hearsay. We appreciate you taking the time. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Martin.